So you're thinking about a career in political journalism, chasing down leads, maybe even changing the world one story at a time.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about, right?
Totally. Well, get ready for the inside scoop, because today we're diving deep into the world of political reporting with some help from RoleCatcher.com.
They have some incredible resources.
They really do, and we're going to break down what it really takes to make it in this field. No fluff, just the good stuff.
It's interesting how many people think political journalism is all about being on TV, microphones in your face,
Oh, yeah.
recording live from some bustling newsroom.
Right out of a movie.
Yeah, and while that definitely exists,
It's not always so glamorous.
exactly, the reality is so much more diverse.
It's true. Think less House of Cards and more like, well, lots of different things.
Right, you could be digging deep into policy research one day, attending a rally the next.
Rubbing shoulders with politicians, maybe even crafting those compelling long-form articles that people really connect with.
It's a multifaceted career for sure.
Definitely, with a surprisingly broad impact. What do you think, from your experience, has changed the most in this field?
Honestly, the media landscape itself is changing so rapidly, especially with the rise of digital platforms and, the 24/7 news cycle.
Oh, absolutely.
Aspiring journalists really need to be ready to adapt.
It's a whole different ballgame now.
It is.
What does that even look like, though?
Well, they need to become tech-savvy storytellers and potentially even work across multiple mediums.
So it's like being a journalist today means having this whole arsenal of skills. You've got to be ready to report across print, online, social media, the whole 9 yards.
You got it.
I'm seeing that need for adaptability reflected all over RoleCatcher's website, too.
For sure. It's crucial these days.
They also paint a pretty dynamic picture of the work environment, like we're talking odd hours, possible travel,
Right.
and yeah, some pretty tight deadlines. Not for the faint of heart.
No, not exactly a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And those tight deadlines and irregular hours, they can definitely impact work-life balance.
Yeah, that's something to really think about.
Definitely something aspiring journalists should be aware of. It's not just about loving politics. You have to thrive in this fast-paced, demanding environment.
Okay, so maybe not for those who crave predictability.
Right?
But let's be real. This career path has some major perks.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine the thrill of breaking a big story,
So exciting.
or the influence of shaping public discourse on these important issues.
There's a real sense of purpose in political journalism.
Absolutely.
You're not just reporting on events, you're potentially impacting policy, holding those in power accountable. You're giving a voice to the voiceless.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of breaking into this field,
Yeah.
let's pause for a second. For you, what's the most appealing aspect of being a political journalist? The fast-paced nature, that potential to make a difference, or something else entirely?
Let's talk about breaking into this field, because you might be surprised to learn that a lot of political journalists don't actually have a traditional journalism degree.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You're telling me that years of J-School might not be the only path to becoming, like, the next big political commentator?
It's true. A journalism degree can definitely equip you with valuable skills, a strong foundation.
Sure.
But it's not the be-all and end-all.
Interesting.
RoleCatcher found that practical experience is often way more valuable.
So it's all about proving you can cut it in the real world, not just acing exams.
Exactly.
How can aspiring journalists gain that essential hands-on experience, even without the degree?
There are tons of ways to dive right in. Think internships at local newspapers, online publications,
Great.
contributing to student-run newspapers, or even starting your own blog focused on political analysis.
Just get writing.
Exactly. It's all about getting your voice heard,
Yeah.
building a portfolio of work that showcases your skills.
Showing those editors you can sniff out a good story and tell it in a way that's captivating, that's going to draw readers in.
Yes, exactly.
RoleCatcher also mentions the importance of networking, but not in the way you might think.
It's not about those fancy parties.
Yeah.
Hobnobbing with the elite. It's about connecting with experienced journalists, maybe attending industry events,
Okay.
engaging in thoughtful discussions about the field.
It's more about the substance than just, like, the superficial stuff.
Exactly. Building those genuine relationships can lead to some really amazing mentorship opportunities and even job leads.
So it's about building a network of support and learning from the best in the field.
Precisely.
Okay, so now imagine you've landed that first gig in political journalism. Congrats.
Exciting.
What comes next? How do you climb that ladder? How do you progress in your career?
So it's not just about climbing the ladder. It's more about expanding your expertise, your influence.
I like that.
So you might start by assisting senior journalists with research or fact-checking,
Yeah.
and you gradually take on more responsibility as you hone your craft.
So it's like an apprenticeship, learning the ropes from the seasoned professionals and gradually taking on bigger roles.
Yeah, exactly. And as you gain that experience, that confidence, you'll likely move towards conducting your own research. Wow.
Writing more in-depth pieces, maybe even leading your own investigative projects.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Imagine uncovering those hidden truths,
Yes.
holding those in power accountable through like hard-hitting investigative journalism.
It's a fantastic feeling.
That's got to be both exhilarating and a tad intimidating.
It certainly can be. It certainly can be.
Yeah.
As you take on more responsibility, you'll also need to navigate those ethical considerations that come with reporting on sensitive political issues.
Right, right.
But before we delve further into that,
Okay.
let's shift gears for a moment
Okay.
and talk about how technology is shaping the landscape of job hunting these days.
Let's talk AI. RoleCatcher is really leading the charge here with their AI-powered tools designed to help people navigate this crazy job market.
Yeah,
It feels like a game changer.
it really is. It's revolutionizing the recruitment process, not just in journalism,
Wow.
but across the board.
Think automated CV screening, skill matching algorithms, even AI-powered interview platforms that can give you feedback on your performance.
It's like AI is reading those job descriptions, figuring out exactly what employers want,
Yes.
and then helping you tailor your application to stand out from the crowd.
Precisely. AI can analyze massive amounts of data, identify patterns, trends
Yeah.
that might not be obvious to us.
Right.
This can be so valuable for job seekers looking to optimize their applications, showcase their skills in a way that really connects with what employers are searching for.
So it's like having a secret weapon in your job hunting arsenal.
In a way, yeah, but it's essential to remember that AI is a tool.
Of course.
And like any tool, it has its limitations.
That's a great point. So how can aspiring political journalists use these AI tools effectively without becoming overly reliant on them? What are the potential downsides of AI being involved in this process at all?
You hit on something really important there. AI can be a really powerful ally when you're trying to like showcase your skills and tailor your application and all that. But it's important to remember that human connection
Yeah.
that still holds a ton of value in this process.
It's not about taking the human element out of it.
No,
It's about using AI to, like, I don't know, enhance it even more.
exactly. Think of AI as a tool to refine your message,
Okay.
not to like dictate what it should be.
Right. So you should still be yourself.
Yes,
Don't let the algorithm, like, stifle your unique perspective.
exactly.
Okay, so let's say you've aced that AI screening,
Mhm.
impressed in your interview, maybe even used RoleCatcher's AI feedback
Hmm.
to, like, really refine those responses.
Yeah.
You've landed that political journalist position. Congrats.
Yeah.
What comes next? You've got your foot in the door.
The learning never stops, honestly,
Yeah.
especially in this field, right?
Yeah.
The political landscape is always changing. New communication platforms are popping up.
Oh, for
The
sure.
way audiences engage with content evolves so quickly.
So it's constant adaptation.
Yes.
Constant evolution, even when you've, like, landed your dream job.
Absolutely. You've got to stay curious. You've got to master those new digital storytelling techniques.
What does that even look like?
Well, you might find yourself diving into data journalism.
Data journalism. That sounds kind of intimidating, but kind of cool.
It's becoming really essential in this field.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So imagine digging into campaign finance data, right?
Right.
To uncover like hidden connections, or maybe you're analyzing voting patterns to understand political shifts.
Interesting.
It's all about using the power of data to add depth and context to your reporting.
Wow, so it's like being a detective, but instead of fingerprints, you're following the data.
Yes, exactly. You're connecting the dots, seeing the story behind the numbers.
That's really cool.
Right.
It adds a whole new layer of depth and complexity to the field.
It really does.
No wonder it's becoming so important.
It is, and it's just one example of how political journalism is constantly changing.
Well, on that note, as we wrap up our deep dive today, what's the most important takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Political journalism is more than just reporting on events. It's about providing that crucial context, analysis, holding those in power accountable.
So important.
And in today's world, aspiring journalists really need to be adaptable, tech-savvy, ethically grounded, all of that.
The whole package.
Yes.
That's such a powerful message. Embrace the constant change. Stay true to your journalistic integrity.
Absolutely.
And I love that idea that as the world evolves, so too does the way we tell its stories.
That's it.
That's a wrap on this deep dive into the fascinating world of political journalism. Thanks to RoleCatcher.com for all the great insights, and to you out there for listening. Until next time.